7 p.m. I'll turn it over to Mayor Eady to officially open the meeting.
Okay, thank you everyone. We'll ask first of all for the calling of the roll, please.
Thank you. Mayor Eady.
Present.
Reeve Eamon.
Present.
Councillor Koulis.
Present.
Councillor Evans.
Present.
Councillor Hines.
Present.
Councillor Jameson.
Present.
Councillor Sidney.
Present.
We have a quorum. All of council is present.
Thank you. Is there any declaration, opportunity, interest, or the general nature thereof?
No. No.
No.
So there's none of that. Okay, next, I'll give a short explanation, but I will be asking the Clerk Bulmer to read the motions. But before I do, when I ask for a mover, please state your name and the same for seconding. When I ask for discussion, I will ask the Clerk Bulmer to ask each one of you for either a comment or, if you wish, no comment. When we do the vote, I'm asking for a recorded vote on all motions, because of course a show of hands ain't going to work. So now just turn it to Clerk Bulmer and ask him to read the first motion.
Thank you, Mayor Eady, and as council understands, the purpose of this special meeting is for a sole purpose only, and it's to address procedural bylaw amendments to allow for electronic meetings. And the holding of this special meeting virtually is permittable under the new Bill 187 passed on March 19th by the provincial government. So the first motion that we need to address is that Clerk Bulmer's report dated March 27th, 2020 concerning the procedural bylaw amendment, electronic meetings, be received.
Need a mover, please.
I will.
So I've heard Councillor Sidney and Reeve Emo.
Yes.
Yes. Any discussion? Turn it over to Clerk Bulmer now.
So I'll just, if there's discussion, and maybe what I'll do quickly is just a review again. I know I did it at our last council meeting, and then I'll just go through in, starting with Reeve Emo and going through alphabetically with council, ending with the mayor of any comments or any questions. So essentially, subsequent to the provincial government's passing of Bill 187, that was introduced as part of the Municipal Emergency Act on March 19th. And in response to the COVID-19 emergency, changes were made to the Municipal Act to allow members of council, committees, and certain local boards to participate in both open and closed meetings electronically. And the key change is that they will now be counted for the purposes of quorum. Before we could, municipalities were allowed to have electronic participation, but there had to be a quorum present at the council chambers, if you will. The purpose was for those one-offs where you might have a member that was out of the municipality and wished to participate. So we need to do some procedural amendments to legalize it, if you will. The proposed amendments will empower us to, as a municipality, to respond quickly when in-person meetings can't be held due to a declared emergency. And right now, we're running under the Ontario government's declared emergency for the province. If that was to cease and we felt that we still needed virtual meeting abilities, then we'd either declare our own, most likely, or we'd have to certainly revisit this issue. I think everyone will agree that because of the current COVID situation and the mandates of the government, this ability is not only welcomed, but I think a necessity for some, if not all of us. So thank you everyone for cooperating and calling in tonight. I think it's going to be a bit of learning as we go along, and as I explained maybe to some, we're looking at other options including video, but we'll see how we can get along with our teleconference abilities, and again trying as much as possible to make sure that we still maintain openness and transparency in what we do. So that's the gist of the report, and what I'll do then is starting with Reeve Emo, asked if there's any questions or comments. Reeve Emo.
Comment, yes, I fully agree with this. I think also the province of Ontario has extended the declaration of emergency today as well. We also heard the schools will remain closed for probably another month. I haven't had time to look at the calendar. I'm also in receipt of some other information from various sources, credible sources, that indicates that organizations should project 30 to 35% absenteeism when they're modeling going forward their workforce, and I think that includes council as well. And it's quite likely, one of us or two of us could get exposed to the virus and be down as well. So it makes a lot of sense not to have council assembled, because the municipal business has to carry on, and I recognize we've done the delegated authority bylaw. However, there is likely the need for the mayor and clerk, or myself and Mr. O'Reilly, should we be in those positions where we would need to consult with council anyway. And so I don't see that council becomes a secondary tool that's to be ignored. I think we'll be contributing throughout, and this is the best way of contributing, so I fully endorse this.
Thank you, Remo. Councillor Koulis, any comments or questions?
Oh, I echo what Remo just said. I know these are challenging times for sure. My hope is that this doesn't go on for very long, and I assume that we will have, based on discussions last Tuesday evening at council, that we will have these meetings more frequently to deal with shorter agendas. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Thank you. I'll just answer that last comment while it's fresh. And we will be starting probably tomorrow trying to really determine what our key decision points are and the timing of such, and try to pull together solid and condensed agendas, and based on reports that are needed to come forth, and again decision points, we'll look at possibly more frequent meetings to keep them more manageable. Thank you. Councillor Evans?
Good. Thank you. Yeah, I guess underneath these incredibly awkward situations, we should be very grateful that technology is assisting us in allowing our agenda to move forward. So thank you for that, and I certainly support the idea.
Thank you. Councillor Hines?
I really echo the words of my colleagues there. I'm very supportive of this procedural bylaw amendment. I think it's really important that we meet in a virtual sense, and I have to just say thank you very much to the mayor and the members of the senior management team and the town staff for continuing to work very diligently and keep things going. So, and I certainly appreciate the mayor's every second day update. I think that's important for us to know that. But in regard to this bill, it is a time of emergency and a time that we're not used to. But I think that this bylaw allows us to do that, and we're doing the right thing for sure. Thank you. Thank you.
Councillor Jemison, any comments?
My only comment is I'm glad we're doing this, because I'm a big firm believer in these virtual meetings for stuff like this. And also, too, it shows like that we're being respectful of the social distancing, and yet we're still committed to making sure that Renfrew continues to operate like normal.
Thank you. Councillor Sidney?
Well, to echo what everybody has said as well, on another additional note, having us do our responsibility to keep the social distancing and, keeping us at home or at our offices, and not all congregating together, I think is really important. And having a spouse who is deemed an essential service, who's out in the community every day, I think it's my duty to respect the other 6 members of council and their safety should anything come to fruition at that point.
And, you know, to kind of echo again, Councillor Hines' comments, the thank yous to the senior management, all of the town staff, the mayor for keeping us updated, but also to all of the essential services in Renfrew that are working to put groceries on the shelves and gas in our tanks, and all the first responders and stuff like that. So I think as councillors and leaders in the community, I think we have to do this, as awkward as it may sound, and difficulty not looking at people when we do it. But I think it's a very important thing that we try and lead by example and show the importance of self-isolation and social distancing. So thank you again.
Thank you, Councillor Sidney. And Mayor Eady, do you have any last comments?
Yes, and thank you, Council. I wrote down, this is one of my comments before this discussion started about meetings, and going back to what Reeve Emo had said, I think at our last actual council meeting about virtual meetings being shorter, and I had that wrote down. I think that'll work very well. Moving forward, I think we need to have regular council meetings, and probably more of them, if we can keep them very short. Moving forward a wee bit, council will have to get a wee bit more involved. We just can't, all of council just can't not be into the decision-making process. So moving forward, I certainly intend to have council more involved in this, and I did talk to Clerk Bomer this afternoon just on some of the basics of it. I have reached out to a couple of council members. I'm not forgetting anybody. Sometime tomorrow, probably in the afternoon, I will reach out again to more council members just to get a feeling of what these are thinking, et cetera, and maybe some ideas on what we should do moving forward. So in saying that, that's all the comments I have on this.
Okay, thank you. So this was just for receipt of the report as presented. I'm just going to go through the division vote. I'll call your name and please say yay or in favor or nay or opposed when I call out your name. So Reeve Ema.
I'm in favor.
Councillor Koulis.
I am in favor.
Councillor Evans.
In favor.
Councillor Hines.
In favor.
Councillor Jemison.
In favor?
Councillor Sidney.
In favor.
And Mayor Eady, sorry.
Yes, I'm in favor.
Okay, now I'll just do the first and second and third readings of the bylaw. I'll read the motion. I'll have the mayor ask for a mover and seconder, and then we'll go into the vote again. The bylaw 24/2020 being a bylaw to amend bylaw number 34/2011 as amended to govern the proceedings of the council and committees of the town of Renfrew be read a first time and be deemed to have been read a second time. So we need a mover and a seconder, please.
Yeah, mover, please.
Councillor
I'll move
Hines.
it.
So Darlene and
Councillor Hines.
Councillor Hines, thank you.
Any further discussion?
Okay, I'll do a recorded vote again on this. I'll call out your names. Reeve Ema.
In favor?
Councillor Koulis.
In favor?
Councillor Evans.
In favor.
Councillor Hines.
In favor.
Councillor Jemison.
In favor?
Councillor Sidney.
In favor.
And Mayor Eady.
In favor.
I'll do the third and final reading now, the bylaw 24/2020, being a bylaw to amend bylaw number 34/2011, as amended to govern the proceedings of the council and committees of the town of Renfrew, be read a third time and be passed. We'll need a mover and seconder. Mover, please.
I will. I will. Second.
Councillor Hines.
Okay, thank you. I think I got that.
Okay.
Okay, I'll call the vote now. Reeve Ema.
In favor?
Councillor Koulis.
In favor.
Councillor Hines.
In favor.
Councillor Evans.
In favor.
Councillor Jemison.
In favor?
Councillor Sidney.
In favor.
And Mayor Eady.
In favor.
Okay, that's completes the required motions for that bylaw. Now we'll do the confirmation bylaw, and I ask for you to bear with me. I know it's a little bit onerous, but so bylaw 25, 2020 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the Council of the Corporation of the Town of Renfrew at the meeting held March 31st, 2020, be read a first time and be deemed to have been read a second time. Mover, please.
I move it.
Okay, Councillor Koulis, seconded?
I'll second.
Okay.
All in favor?
And I'll call the vote again. Reeve Eamon,
In favor?
Councillor Koulis,
In favor?
Councillor Evans,
In favor.
Councillor Hines,
In favor?
Councillor Jemison,
In favor.
Councillor Sidney,
In favor.
and Mayor Eady.
In favor.
Okay, now we have the third and final reading of the confirmation bylaw, the bylaw 25, 2020, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the Council of the Corporation of the Town of Renfrew at the meeting held March 31st, 2020, be read a third time and be passed. I need a mover, please.
Councillor Hines?
Go.
Seconded?
Councillor Evans.
Sorry, I need a second, I didn't catch that.
Evans for second.
Okay, thank you. I'll call the vote now. Reeve Eamon,
In favor?
Councillor Koulis,
In favor?
Councillor Evans,
In favor.
Councillor Hines,
In favor?
Councillor Jemison,
In favor.
Councillor Sidney.
In favor.
All right, so that does our motions. One thing I've learned that maybe I'll try to do is get some prearranged movers and seconders for our motions. That'll help a bit. And will just be the vote itself then. So that's it for the meeting. Mayor Eady, did you have anything else?
No, I think that was it. I was in favor of the last motion as
Oh,
well.
did I not call it? There, I made another one. So unless there's anything else, Mayor Eady, you can call adjournment and give us the time.
Quickly, can I add one comment?
Sure.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'll send out information I get because it's somewhat different because of the health unit in AMO and other places as fast as I can. And it'll be accurate. I don't send out rumors. I send out actual reports. So I'll send them to you as quickly as I can because I think council has, you know, a responsibility and wants a responsibility of helping inform their neighbors and friends who contact them. So I'll try to get you information as quickly as I can and accurate all the time.
Okay, I have a question there, Peter.
Yeah?
So when you send it out, is it considered public knowledge?
Yes, it is.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know.
Okay. All the information we get, anything we get, all the better. So that's not a problem, Peter. I know there's sometimes it's almost duplicated, but that's okay. It's I'd sooner have too much than not enough. So all information is welcome. Okay, I guess we'll now adjourn. It is 7:19 on my phone. Anyway, you guys all have a good evening. Be safe.
All right, thank you very much, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye now.